Throughout history, humanity has faced many challenges. From the bustling streets of ancient cities to the crowded alleys of medieval towns, people have always been vulnerable to unseen dangers. Some challenges come from nature, like devastating floods or powerful earthquakes. Others are born from human conflicts, such as wars and battles that have shaped our world. But some of the biggest threats come from the microscopic world. These threats are plagues. Plagues are diseases that can spread rapidly and cause widespread devastation. They spread quickly and can kill many people, overwhelming hospitals and leading to mass graves. Plagues are caused by tiny organisms that are invisible to the naked eye. These organisms include viruses, bacteria, and parasites, each with their own unique ways of invading our bodies and making us sick. They invade our bodies and make us sick. Plagues have shaped history in profound ways. They have killed millions and altered the course of human events. They have changed how we live, forcing societies to adapt and find new ways to protect themselves. The Black Death, for instance, wiped out a third of Europe's population, leaving a lasting impact on the continent. Smallpox, once a deadly disease, was eventually eradicated through global vaccination efforts, showcasing the power of scientific advancement. Studying plagues helps us prepare for the future. Researchers and scientists work tirelessly to understand these diseases and develop ways to combat them. By understanding the past, we can better face the challenges of new diseases. Knowledge of historical pandemics informs our strategies and responses, making us more resilient in the face of future threats. The Black Death was a terrible plague that swept through Europe with devastating consequences. It struck Europe in the 1340s, leaving a trail of death and despair in its wake. This plague killed millions of people, wiping out entire communities. It changed the course of history, altering the social and economic fabric of the continent forever. The Black Death was caused by a bacteria known as Yersinia pestis. This deadly bacteria lived in fleas, which in turn lived on rats, creating a perfect storm for the spread of the disease. Rats traveled the world on ships, carrying the infected fleas with them to new lands. That's how the plague spread so rapidly across continents, following trade routes and seafaring vessels. People with the plague got sick quickly, often within days of being bitten by an infected flea. They experienced severe symptoms such as fever, chills, and painful swollen bumps. These swollen bumps were called buboes, and they were a telltale sign of the infection. The Black Death was incredibly deadly, with no known cure at the time. Entire towns were decimated, doctors didn't know how to treat it, and people were terrified, often resorting to desperate measures. Many thought it was the end of the world, interpreting the plague as a divine punishment. The Black Death had a huge impact on Europe, reshaping its future in profound ways. It killed so many people that there was a severe shortage of workers, leading to significant changes in labor practices. This led to economic and social changes, including shifts in power dynamics and the eventual end of the feudal system. Smallpox was another terrible plague, one that haunted humanity for centuries. It killed millions of people over centuries, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. The disease caused severe fever, a painful rash, and often led to blindness. Smallpox was a highly contagious virus. It spread through the air and direct contact with infected individuals, making it a relentless enemy. Unlike the Black Death, there was a way to fight smallpox. This method was called inoculation, an early form of vaccination. Later, a more effective vaccine was developed by Edward Jenner, revolutionizing the fight against the disease. A vaccine works by teaching your body to recognize and combat the disease, providing immunity. The smallpox vaccine was a game changer, drastically reducing the number of cases and saving countless lives. It saved millions of lives and brought hope to communities ravaged by the disease. In the 20th century, a coordinated global effort led by the World Health Organization eradicated smallpox. This monumental achievement was a major victory for public health, showcasing the power of global cooperation. It demonstrated that with determination and collaboration, we could defeat even the deadliest diseases, paving the way for future public health successes. Section 4, the Spanish flu, a global pandemic. The Spanish flu was a global pandemic. It happened in 1918. It was caused by a virus. This virus was very contagious. It spread quickly around the world. People with the Spanish flu had fever, cough, and body aches. Many people developed pneumonia. Pneumonia is a serious lung infection. The Spanish flu was deadly. It killed millions of people worldwide. There was no vaccine at the time. Doctors tried their best to treat the sick. Eventually, the pandemic ended. Section 5, COVID-19, a modern-day pandemic. In recent times, we faced another pandemic. It was COVID-19. This pandemic started in 2019. The virus spread rapidly around the world. COVID-19 caused a range of symptoms. Some people had mild illness. Others became severely ill. Scientists and doctors worked quickly. They developed vaccines and treatments. People wore masks and practiced social distancing. These measures helped to slow the spread of the virus. COVID-19 had a huge impact on our world. It disrupted our lives and economies. The pandemic showed us how interconnected we are. It also highlighted the importance of public health measures.